We about to rank the fuck up.
Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and number
Here's Johnny.
It's Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and number This is nutty. I'm Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and number This is nutty. I'm Jason and Kim Crystal with a pistol, chainsaw and number This is nutty. It's Michael.
What's going on YouTube? This is Versus Loco, the motherfucking horror cholo. And yes, you heard it right. We are about to rank the fuck up. And for this one, I know you've seen the thumbnail already. We are going to be going over the Leprechaun franchise. That is right. The Leprechaun franchise is very, very hit or miss. Don't get me wrong. There's some in there that are a lot of fun, a lot of fun. They're definitely an awesome seasonal movie to watch, whether it be one of them, your favorite one, or go through the whole fucking series like I did. But if you don't want to do that, I did that for you, okay? So yes. So we're going to jump right into this, okay? So the things that I own, so again, you're going to be seeing more pictures up here on this side right here, but I do own the Steelbook, and that has, almost all of them in it. And then I have the newest one on standalone. So that's why it's kind of, I'm not going to be able to hold something up for you guys. But yeah, and I know I had an episode of Rank the Fuck Up not even that long ago. It kind of didn't cross my mind that St. Patrick's Day is today, so I wanted to get this video out there for you guys to be, in theme with the season. So yeah. So yes, without further ado, let's jump right into this. So there are 2, 4, 6, 8 of these films, okay? So my number 8 is going to be Back to the Hood. It's funny. I like cheesy movies. I like silly movies. I like hood movies. I like horror movies. But man, it's almost, it's fucking annoying to me. It just not, I don't know, it just did not work well for me at all. It's not a film, every single time I try to watch it, I'm just like with my head on my fucking, my hand on my head, just like, what the fuck am I torturing myself through? And like you guys all know me, I love shitty movies, but fuck, it's painful to watch that movie. It's really painful. So yeah, it's that is definitely last of the list. It is one that I rarely ever rewatch unless I completely forgot what's going on and I just have to refresh the mind and lose some more brain cells. But yes, that is going to be my number 8. My number 7 is going to be In the Hood. In the Hood has its moments. Only because like Ice-T's in it, Ice-T is like a legend. Amazing that he agreed to fucking be in this movie, but I guess, if you're gonna get a bag, might as well, get it any way you can, being in a fucking Leprechaun film and getting paid, why not? I would be in it too, I guess. But yeah, it's not a good movie though, at all. It is not a good movie. It's fucking annoying. Everything is like a stereotype in there too. It's like, it's not even like I don't know. It's way comedic and over the top and almost like fucking offensive at times. It's like fucking like so stupid. It's way over the top. It is another one. Those two, Hooded in the Hood. It's like, oh yeah, I love my hood movies and everything like that. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's watch Leprechaun in the Hood. And every time I put it on, I fucking regret it. They're bad. They're bad. My number 6. My number 6 is going to be Leprechaun in Space. So yes, Leprechaun in Space is another one that, it's very silly and very comical. Horrible acting in it, but it still has its entertaining moments. Still is not one that I go to very often, but it's entertaining for what it is. It's funny too, because like a lot of those movies at that time, their next fucking thing was they go to space. Everybody's going to space, so it's kind of funny, and it was kind of like a product of its time because all the movies, they had nothing else to do besides, okay, so now we're gonna go to space. But it is what it is. It has some good kills in there. Silly stuff, but it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. So next up, my number 5 is going to be Origins. Okay, so Origins is one that I actually seen just the other day for the first time, and it's actually not bad. I actually was pretty entertained by it. I mean, you know, they don't have John Warwick in it or anything like, or no, Warwick Davis. It's not John Warwick, Warwick Davis in the movie at all. But you know, the creature doesn't even really look like a leprechaun either. But it's an interesting story. You know, it kind of keeps you intrigued. It almost feels like an old school Dimensions or early 2000s Dimension film. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining. Again, it wasn't amazing. They did go a completely different route than all the other Leprechaun movies were. But yeah, it was cool for what it was. Yeah, yeah. So that is my number 5. So my number 4 is going to be Leprechaun Returns. This is kind of another thing that they were doing a lot at this time was, you know, because this movie is supposed to be a sequel from the original. So this one's forgetting that all the other ones happened, and this is going to be the real part 2. And you know, it's awesome that they were able to get a lot of the characters back from the original. And you know, I thought it was an interesting story. Had cool practical effects in it. You know, it had some CGI, but I feel like with a movie like this, you know, the little sparkles that they do when something happens and stuff like that, it works. So yeah, I actually had a fun time with this movie. I thought it was fun for what it was. You know, I thought they did a good job. So yeah. Next up, my number 3 is actually going to be part 2. So part 2 is actually way better than I remember it being. I watched it a couple days ago for the first time in a long time, and man, it was a fun time. I actually really enjoyed that movie. It had some good kills in it. It had Warwick Davis, you know, being his smart alecky self with his little rhyming things that he does. It's just it was all worked for me. It was a fun movie. If you have not seen part 2, I would definitely check it out, especially if you like sequels like I do. I'm a sequel guy, but yeah, definitely check that out. I had a good time with it. So my number 2 is gonna be Leprechaun 3. This is the one now that I rewatch this one all the fucking time. This is one that I go to often, and I remember seeing this movie as a really young kid, and it's just a lot of fun. You know, I mean, a leprechaun going after his gold in Las Vegas, where it's all about money, lights, and dazzle, and diamonds, and all that kind of stuff. And it just fucking works, man. It is such I think it's a fucking great idea. Like, whoever wrote that script is just like, oh man, that's fucking brilliant. Put fucking Leprechaun in Las Vegas. Like, that's, it's brilliant. It's fun. Has good kills, man. I remember the girl that she starts blowing up and blowing up. She fucking explodes. Oh man, it's a lot of fun. It's a silly, fun movie, and I actually rewatch the movie quite often. That's one that I've seen. That's the one that I've seen the most out of all of them. But so yeah, it's definitely a fun one for me. And then, if you mathematically add everything up, the original is my number 1. The original, man, I have a blast with that movie. I think it's played more serious than all the other ones are. You know, he still says his little smart alecky things, but it doesn't feel so comedic. And you know, and it's Jennifer Aniston's first movie too. She's looking good in it and everything like that, so it's really cool to see her in there. I love all the characters too. You know, the slow guy that he's the painter and everything like that. His relationship with the little boy is really awesome. They're like best friends. You know, it's just a really neat little kind of gateway horror movie. You know, it's one that it's kind of, you know, if you're okay with your kids watching horror movies, which I am, it's a perfect movie to kind of start your love and passion for horror movies. So yeah, I have a blast with part 1. It is definitely my favorite out of the. It's the best made one out of all of them. I don't know if it's actually my favorite, but it's definitely the best one. Let's put it that way. It's definitely the best one. And I just love how straight it's played for a situation like that. You know, it's not played crazy comedic, but it's fun. It's a blast. So yes. that is going to be my ranking, folks. So yes, I hope you enjoy these things right here. I hope everybody is having a good St. Patrick's Day, and maybe I gave you a little bit of inspiration to want to watch one of the Leprechaun movies, you know. So yeah, appreciate everybody's support. I will catch you on the next one. I got a few stuff coming up in the woodwork, so be on the lookout. More videos on the way. Appreciate y'all.